If you have a question, please raise your hand. Once you get the microphone, please identify yourself and the affiliated you're with. Jaden, can we start with Aaron, then we'll go there and there.
Aaron Beard with the AP. This is for Cooper. Just kind of walk us through a little bit of how you're feeling and what you've done the last few days in terms of trying for recovery and rehab type things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. We have an incredible team, incredible training staff. So we've been working through the steps of just getting to 100%. I mean, I feel very good. I'm very confident moving forward.
Okay, Cooper, can you come up front and get this gentleman, and then Jaden, if you can go here.
Steve Wiseman, Raleigh News and Observer. Cooper, can you just kind of talk us through what those days were like initially when you got hurt, and then the rehab just while you're still in Charlotte and watching the team? I mean, what was it like for you? Were you fearful your season was over? Just tell us about those feelings.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we have a great team. So as soon as I got hurt, it was just about getting the right treatment, the right recovery, figuring out exactly what was going on. Had an MRI, X-ray, learned that both of those looked really good. So for them, it was just moving on, pain tolerance type of things, just getting the recovery, the treatment that I needed.
Okay, Jaden, let's go up front.
Royal Howell, the Juice Network. Tyrese, this question's for you. We know March Madness is about the floor general, about you dictating tempo and being that point guard for Duke University. How are you at mentally and physically getting ready for this tournament?
Yeah, I'm in a good state of mind. I think our guys are ready. In terms of on the court, I think 1 through 4, really everyone is sort of that floor general, and just the way that we play, sort of 5 out, everyone sort of bringing the ball up and getting involved. But I think I'm ready, our team's ready, and we're just looking forward to the first game.
Okay, Cooper, I need you to get to the second row in the middle here. Then we're going to go third row in the middle, and then we'll go back there.
Connor O'Neill with Devils Illustrated. Tyrese, this is also for you. You've been through the process of winning a conference championship and moving on quickly to the NCAA tournament. What's the difference with this team than it was 2 years ago, and how quickly do you move on from Saturday night to now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it's 0-0. The season starts over again, and I mean, everyone's a champion coming into March. All the guys that are in the tournament have won their conference, and so everyone's on a high, and I think just staying level-headed is a big thing, and just focusing on us is a really big thing moving forward.
Okay, Cooper, third row in the middle, and then Jaden will go back there.
Graham Hill, 99.9 The Fan. Cooper, Con, as you guys get ready to play in your first NCAA tournament, how do you feel the overall season has prepared you as a whole?
Con, could you answer that first, please?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been in a lot of tough games, especially recently, tough physical games. So I think that'll prepare us for the physicality of the tournament. But also, Coach did a great job non-conference, getting us to play a bunch of good teams. So we'll be ready for any team that's going to play us.
Cooper, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I would just say to what Con said, just our schedule all year long. Our thing has just been about getting better every single day. So I think that we've done a good job of just moving forward and trying to get better every single day.
Okay, Jaden, can we go in the back there, and then we'll come up to the second row here and get you. Yep.
Excuse me, David Hale with ESPN. Cooper, I'm just curious, how much have you been able to practice over the last few days? And then physically, do you expect to maybe take it a little lighter when you first get back on the court, or do you feel like you'll be full go tomorrow?
Yeah, so, I mean, from the start of the week, it was kind of like a build-up of jumping back into practice, getting back to 100%, doing some individual things with some of the coaches on the side, and then I was back in full practice yesterday. So, I mean, I feel really good. I'm really confident about going 100% tomorrow.
Okay, Cooper, can you come up front here in second row in the middle there?
Brendan Marks from The Athletic. Yeah, Cooper, not to relitigate the injury again, but when you did go down, what was your vantage point in that play against Georgia Tech? What did you see happen, and sort of what was going through your head at that moment?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of went up for a rebound, kind of came down, landed on the player's foot and twisted my ankle. I mean, I've twisted my ankle a good amount of times, growing up. I feel like most basketball players go through something like that. So it's kind of just about figuring out how severe it is and how it feels to see if you can just get up and walk it off. But obviously it was definitely more than that, so I had to go to the back.
Jaden, right back there standing up, please.
Hey, Cooper, Evan Abramson, Spectrum News 1. How much confidence did it give you in guys like Con and Tyrese and even Sion when you were out having to watch everything happen from the side, that they were able to execute everything so flawlessly. I mean, whether it's about UNC and that the game before the tournament or even in the tournament, just being able to get that extra help, see them, whether it's foul trouble or the injury, to carry Duke.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was really good for us to go through and kind of have that experience. Obviously, I hated every second of not being able to be out on the court, but these guys made it really easy for me to kind of sit back and just watch them execute, watch them go out there and dominate the other team. So they definitely made it easy for me.
Okay, Cooper, front row here.
Brett Friedlander, Saturday Down South. This is for Reese and Con. Pretty much the same question that Coop was just asked. How much better do you think you guys are now because you've had to go through that a couple of games without him and you've learned to play different roles? Pat has, increased his contribution and that kind of thing.
Tyrese, could you answer that first?
Yeah, I think not having Coop and Malik, it hurt our team, but it was also a good experience. Just playing, we've sort of played without a couple guys the whole year, and I think it's just good to have that in your back pocket. You never know what's going to happen, and you pray to God no one else gets hurt. But it's possible and stuff happens, and I thought we adapted really well. And Coop and Malik and everyone had full confidence in everyone, and we just went out and played our game.
Con, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think it gave some guys some opportunities, but also helped us unlock some things offensively and defensively that might work in the future.
Okay, Cooper on the second row there, third one in.
Andrew Long with the Chronicle. This is for any of y'all, but you guys are effectively playing a home game, just 30 minutes from campus. What kind of advantage does that give you, not having to travel, being close to home?
Con, could you answer that, please?
Yeah, it's just nice not to get on a plane. Right over here on a bus, not too long. Got in last night for a nice dinner, so not too much travel, soreness and stuff like that.
Okay. Jaden, can you go back to the standing up?
Tyrese is one of the older veterans on the team. I don't know if you've already been asked this, but getting to be able to hopefully see or talk to maybe Jeremy Roach, have you been able to see him and just the excitement of being in the same city as him again?
I actually saw him as soon as we got off the bus. So he was walking out, and I saw him, said what's up, and it was good to see him catch up.
Okay, Cooper on the edge back there.
This question is for Con. You talked about some things that you were able to unlock offensively and defensively. What were some of those things that you saw as you went through the absences?
Yeah, without having Coop, we had to get a lot more off-ball movement and going to get guys open. I think a lot of that helped us offensively and it could make us more dangerous going forward.
Okay, Jaden in the back, the blue shirt.
Roy Nogaltree, KWTX. Cooper, Rob Wright said you may have sent him an eyes emoji whenever the brackets got released. You can talk about that relationship, and I know you have a game in front of you, but what would that be like?
Yeah, like you said, obviously we focused on tomorrow's game, but yeah, definitely when we saw the selection show and I saw Baylor right in our bracket, it was kind of just a cool moment, having gone to school together last year and playing together, having that connection. So it was definitely a cool moment.
Cooper, can you come up? We got second row question in the middle there.
Cooper, to kind of follow up on the Mount Verde line there, Liam is here also this weekend. How much have you kept up with all of the Mount Verde guys' seasons, and how much have you been in contact with them?
Yeah, I would say whenever I get a chance to kind of catch some of their games on TV or whatever it is, I try and tune in and watch for a little bit. But we're all really busy, going through the same thing, so it's hard to talk a lot or stay in fluent contact. But I've definitely reached out a bunch of times, talked to the guys, and just it was a great year for all of us.
Any other questions? All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. You're excused. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
So Coach Shire is due to start, please.
Well, my thing is all about what a privilege to be here. It's I'll never take for granted the opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament for our guys, to coach in it. It's a blessing. It's something you work. I know a lot of us were just talking the last few days. It's something you watch growing up as a kid, and for our guys to be playing in it. Most of our team has not played in it. And I think that's an exciting thing for us. But incredible privilege. We're ready to go. it was great finally finding out who we're going to play tomorrow. We've done our prep for Mount St. Mary's, and the run they've had is terrific. They played a great game last night, and we're really excited to kick this thing off tomorrow at 2:50.
Jaden, if we can start in the second row here on the edge, and then if you could just hand it over after you're done.
Coach, congratulations on getting here. I know we've talked about it a lot over the last few weeks, but what have you guys learned as a team with Cooper, whether it was the foul trouble against UNC and then the injury in the ACC tournament, with him having to kind of be on the sidelines a little bit, and Sion taking the reins, and Khan taking the reins, and Tyrese? What have you learned about your team? What have you learned that you guys can do differently to maybe surprise teams that have scouted you guys in preparation for this?
Well, I think actually a friend of mine texted me this the last couple of days, but sometimes when you can call it bad, sometimes injuries are bad luck, right? And when there's bad luck or things that work against you, it's really an opportunity is what it is. And I thought that presented an amazing opportunity for our team to show our toughness in a critical moment. The Georgia Tech game, we're down, we're playing horrible, they're playing really well, and to be able to come back, to turn around the next 2 days against two really good teams without them. With all that said, we all know we need them, and we're a lot better with them. But for other guys to step up in close games to make big-time winning plays, I think that just gave us even more confidence with what we can do, getting him back healthy and ready to go at the same time.
Okay, right in the middle.
John, Brendan Marks from The Athletic. You guys announced a couple of minutes ago that Cooper's officially going to be active tomorrow. What has it taken the past week to get him to this point? And then also, do you have an update on Malik and his potential availability this month?
Yeah. So Cooper, for us, this is about him being able to move properly. He wasn't going to play if he was compensating or if he was. Look, no matter what, an ankle sprain, to say he's 100% tomorrow, it's, he has to work through that a little bit still. But he's not compensating. Actually, the time off, I think, has helped him, his explosiveness, just getting a little bit of rest. I mean, the ACC tournament is a grind. The regular season tournament is a grind. So our medical team staff has done a great job making sure, with his force plate testing, with how he's jumping off of each leg, that there's not an imbalance of the way he's moving. So I think that's the biggest thing. And then the second thing, you have to make sure he goes against contact, where he's getting knocked off his base, is moving the right way without having it plan the way that he's moving. And so he looked really good yesterday. He did contact. He's built up. We built him up slowly and really progressed him the right way. But he's ready to go. He was, in his mind, he was ready last weekend, but he wasn't. He wasn't. But he's been itching to get out there, and I think that says a lot about who he is, because a lot of guys would be more patient or not as anxious to get out there, and that's just not the way he's wired. His family, everybody with them. As far as Malik goes, I can't give you any more other than, look, he wants to do whatever he can to get back and have a chance to play. And I'm lucky to be coaching all these guys where they have that attitude, and I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's his mindset. That's our mindset, to do everything we can to just give it a chance if we can continue to progress in this tournament. So can't give you more than that because I don't know more than that, but that's the mindset for him and for us.
Okay, Cooper, can you come around all the way to the front? We're going to go in the middle here. No, one more. There you go. And then we're going there, and then there.
John, there's been some conversation the last week about whether the ACC should expand or perhaps form some kind of alliance with the Big East. I was wondering if you had some thoughts about where the league is now and what the future should look like.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I think it's really important to talk about all these things because the sustainability of getting 3 teams in and then one in the play. Now 4 teams in, but 3 into the main field initially. It's concerning, And what ends up happening is a lot of the wins that we've gone in the ACC this year, we're not alone. It's anybody in the ACC. A lot of it's discredited, because you get into a league, you really can't go wrong with some of the games. Even if you lose, you're not hurt by it necessarily. So there's only upside in a lot of respects, where in our league, once the ACC started, there's, for the most part, it's downside. And so, as teams, we obviously have to do a good job of, winning and controlling what we can. But also, I think, looking at ways to, I'm not going to comment on the Big East because I've been so focused on this year with our team. And I would like for us to make a special run, blow it out with this group, and then do the best job that I can with my platform here of finding ways to make our game better, because I think there's a bunch of things we need to do, specifically with the gameplay, to go to quarters, to have 24-second shot clock, to modernize the game. But also, ideas like that need to be thrown around because this thing's changing too quickly not to. So I'm sorry I can't give you a better answer, but I'm fully embedded with our team and not trying to give much else a lot of thought right now.
All right, on the corner there, Cooper.
Matt Giles, Duke on SI. Coach, if you think back 2 years ago to Orlando compared to now, is there one area of your game that you feel like you've improved on the most? And second part of that question, do you find any extra motivation that you're going to be starting this journey below the Final Four banner that ended your season last season?
Yeah, I didn't think of that. It's going to give me even extra motivation being here. I think there's a lot of, it's interesting when you start, there's always things along the way, at least for me, that help motivate me. And so you just gave me one more, which is great. And but I would say, I think the best thing you can do as a coach is give clarity. And so as you go on, at least for me, I think it's very clear what we're asking our players to do. We're not asking them to do 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 things. My thing is more simplicity and really focus on how tough and connected we are. In addition to, of course, you want to win the details of a game. And in the details, I think clarity is a big thing. And so for me, I think if I was evaluating myself in that moment to now, there's a lot of things I would say, but I think a big one for me is clarity with making sure not just what you know, but most importantly, what your players know that you're asking them to do. And that's been a big point of emphasis for me with what we've done. And as far as the other question, each step, when I'm in this tournament, I always take what happened last year and back of my mind, I just use it as a motivator. And that's never going to change, and that's only going to help.
Okay, Cooper, can we get to the third row in the middle there? And then Jaden, we're going to go up front in the corner.
Graham Hill, 999 The Fan. Coach Shire, I know the storyline all season has been the performance of Flagg, Malawach, and Knipple, but what about a guy like Isaiah Evans that really stepped up when his number was called during the ACC tournament? And even if it wasn't contributing to the score sheet, it just felt like he provided a spark of energy for your team in a time of need.
Well, you talk about Isaiah. He had one of the best plays of the ACC tournament when he he anticipated a steal, ripped it out of, I think it was Paul in the play, but one of Carolina players' hands, and then he dove on the floor, like without hesitation. And, Isaiah and I have had a lot of amazing conversations since he's been here. I think he's misunderstood to some degree because he's all about the right things. He's a big-time competitor. He's an amazing teammate. But to see his game progress, shooting and scoring, it's not like we made him a good shooter when he got here. That's something he could already do. But his willingness and want to become a complete player has been awesome to coach. And so that play, diving on the floor, we're up in that game, and just his emotion and understanding how important that was. I was really proud of him. He's been in some crucial moments for us, made some big-time shots, but his whole game has progressed because he works on it, he takes coaching, and he has the great balance of being very confident in his ability, but also having great humility and being very objective with analyzing what he can do better and needs to do better. So I've loved coaching Isaiah Evans, man. He's been awesome.
Okay, Jaden up front here, and then Cooper, we're going to go in the second row, and then we'll get you, David.
Royal Hall, the Juice Network. Coach, the way you orchestrated this roster in a survive and advance scenario, a tough non-conference schedule with Arizona, Kansas, Illinois, you name it, all tournament teams, Kentucky. What do you think it was so influential for you to build the roster the way that you orchestrated it to be prepared for this moment in a survive and advance scenario with one game and one game only mentality?
Well, I think what you try to do is, you try to simulate as much as you can what you're going to expect in these moments. And so the only way to do that is put your team in really tough environments against great opponents, see how they respond and react. Obviously, your goal is to win. I mean, every game we go into, our expectation is to come out with a win. But we knew even the Kentucky game, the Kansas game early in the year, we learned a ton from it. Like, our team grew like crazy. And as long as you have the right people, high character guys who are, all into winning, even when it doesn't go as well, I knew we were going to be tougher for it. And unfortunately, along the way, we've had Malik be out. We've had what happened with Cooper last weekend, Malik as well, again. And so different guys having to step up in different moments. I think we've seen, I don't want to say we've seen it all, but I think we've seen as much as you could see in 34 games. So I know our group is confident from those experiences, and, we're ready to go.
Second row, Coop.
Abby DeSalvo from the Duke Chronicle. Kind of building off of that, Duke is one of the younger teams in the field, and like you said, a lot of these guys have never played in an NCAA tournament before. So what vulnerabilities do you think that opens up for Duke? And then on the flip side, how do you think that can turn into a strength?
Well, these guys have continued to be different, and I don't want to put, sometimes you can make it too big of a thing where, because they haven't seen it before or whatever. End of the day, it's basketball. The sense of urgency and all that you have to have. Well, you have to have that to win 31 games and to win a regular season championship and tournament championship. And so what I want for our guys, I don't want there's a lot of different things. We haven't had a press conference like this day before a game, an open practice. This media, you guys are in the locker room. There's all these different things that come with it. I just don't want that to change who we are and what we do. And so I think that's the case whether you have the most experienced group or whether you have a team full of guys who haven't been here before. So I'll tell you this much, no matter what, I think the thing for us we've gone for it. We haven't hesitated, we haven't flinched, and that's my expectation for us, with not to go into this thing with the weight of the world or whatever. Like, go into it to have fun, go into it to attack. And I think as a young group, they have the ability to do that.
Okay, let's go way in the back to David, and then we'll go there if we have time, and then we'll go there, but I don't like your chances.
David Teal with the Virginian Pilot. John, as you would expect.
Where are you?
Right here.
All right, I got you.
Sorry. As you'd expect without Malik and Cooper, your defensive metrics in the ACC tournament weren't as good as they were, as exceptional as they were during the regular season. What, as you watched the video, was different or lacking in Charlotte?
Well, you're missing two of your best activity guys. I mean, they're the two most versatile defenders in the country, and they're on the same team. And so you miss the flexibility sometimes you would have with them, but also the steals and the deflections. And so being able to turn some defense into offense wasn't there. But to be honest with you, David, I thought, look, we're playing Carolina, and they have 24 points at halftime. And that second half, we just gave them a ton of transition. A lot of that came from not being as strong as we needed to with the ball. I thought our defense against Louisville was really good. Terrence Edwards, tip your hat to him. I thought the shots he was hitting were, I'm not sure Cooper or Malik, it changes, because it was really good defense. So the length and the activity of those two guys can't be replicated, but I thought the effort, the game plan, the execution was right there.
Okay, real quick up front. And that's going to be our last question. I'm sorry.
Saturday down south. John, Duke has lost 7 of the last 11 times they've played in this building, including an NCAA tournament game. Is there any rhyme or reason to that other than the fact that you're playing a rival and there's a lot of other things that go into that kind of thing?
I don't think so. I think it's just the fact that, 7 of the 10 are road games, are they not? So, obviously I was here for the one game in the tournament. As a coach, that was my first year back, which was we didn't do a good enough job that day, and Mercer did. But besides that, I think it's a reflection on how hard of a place it is to win here on the road, NC State, the teams that they've had. And I think I don't think it's anything you take from that and say, man, we got to do this because we're playing in this building. I think it's all about us and our mentality. But it's not like the rims are a different height or slanted or I think it's the fact they beat us those days, and we have to win tomorrow playing Duke basketball. All right. Thank you,
Okay, I'm
guys.
afraid that's all we have for time. Coach, thank you very much.